and management of GCIS and its entities, Brand SA and MDDA, met with the Provincial Executive Council of the Northwest. In fact, the main reason for our engagement and our visit today was to socialize the Provincial Executive Council on the government communication policy, which was recently adopted by Cabinet. The government communication policy set out rules, procedures, and processes for government communication. We've had quite an involved discussions with the provincial executive on how best we can improve communication as a strategic function of a functional government. The province has also engaged the GCIS on its mandate and some of the communication challenges that have besieged the province for quite some time, and we've been able to respond to them, and we've also identified areas of collaboration. The second discussion was on MDDA and its attendant mandate, which was to support small and commercial media. Our discussion centered around the need for MDDA to continue consistent with its mandate to capitalize small and commercial media. And there was a particular focus in the Northwest Province, and I reminded the provincial executive that not so long ago we had a workshop with MDDA, with community media, which was aimed at sensitizing community media about requirements for funding. And we have since sought information from MDDA about the number of community media projects that have been funded. And they were able to give a sense of where they are with the Northwest and which projects they are potentially going to fund, because they have yet to formally communicate with those who have been successful applicants. We also had a discussion with Brand SA, which is one of our entities, which is responsible for the promotion of nation brand. And they've been able to really reflect on the brand hexagon against which it is measured. As you know, the Brand SA has got a responsibility to be a marketing agency of South Africa. It has a responsibility to make sure that South Africa as a brand is admired globally. But it also has a responsibility to make sure that South Africa is seen as a brand that is globally competitive. So we have had quite fruitful discussions, as I said, about the mandate of these entities together with their department, GCIS, and we look forward to future engagement. For instance, coming out of the discussion is that the need for us to have a provincial communicators forum to socialize communicators on the discussions that have ensued and on the concerns that have been raised by the executive, and how we've been able to go about delving into possible ways and solutions to respond to some of the vexing questions that have been raised in our discussions with the provincial executive. Premier?
Kenny Morolong. No, indeed, as a province, we are very excited to have hosted the Deputy Minister today from GCIS and with its entities. As he mentioned, Brand South Africa, MDDA, and we had a conversation as government, nationally and provincially, to say this is what Cabinet has decided on, a review on the communication strategy. Now, government at the national level is responsible to craft policies, and us as provinces, our responsibility is to implement. And when these reviews are done, as he said, we take communications, we put it and make it a strategic tool of how do we communicate with our people. And there's a general belief that government is doing a lot, but we communicate less, if not at all. And that's why generally you'll then have surveys and perceptions that there is a mood of people not being happy with the way government works. But when you evaluate at the factual point, you'll realize that government is doing very well. Now, part of the discussions today was how do we position communications in the three spheres of government at the center of communicating to our people. The service delivery without shying away on the weaknesses and limitations that government will have. Our responsibility is to tell people what government does. But also it's important, like he said, on how do we then integrate brand South Africa, because as a province, for instance, now we go abroad, try to market the province. But the reality is, as you market the province, is the brand well packaged? Is the brand well resourced? Do you have tools of communicating your brand? And at the point we then said, we even agreed that this year the province will be hosting an investment conference, a job summit. Brand South Africa must be able to come in and assist. So it came at the right time, dear, to leverage and assist the province to be able internationally to market itself as a destination of choice. You know, if anybody comes from anywhere in the world, when he looks at the way we have packaged our brand, he says, I want to go to the Northwest. But also what is important is the support. You'll recall sometime last year, I addressed a press conference and I said, I'm a proponent, a supporter of local media, that it must be supported. And in ESCO, I emphasize that departments must report on progress in as far as how are they supporting our local media. And interacting with the local house media, they were saying that so far we are happy, whether they are print or whether they are digital. Then they said, but not enough, and I agree. I'm told today it should be around 30%, and we are far from that. And we are saying we are going to up the game. We also spoke about the TV Northwest. Platinum TV. Trying to save itself, they don't have funds, it's shut down now. We've got the responsibility as a province, and we were discussing ways and means, how are we going to ensure that we support that television? Because it's important to use all these channels to communicate with our people. So from where we're sitting, we're very happy and excited that the discussions today will assist the province to utilize national government and ensure that we collaborate on certain projects, and we ensure that in this province we use our local media to communicate efforts of government.